Okay, so I took this trade today. Um, you know, it was a loss. I am currently risking 0.5% each trade. So I'm de-risking what I normally risk, which is 1% per trade. The reason being is because it's December and price action has been pretty honestly, well, in the beginning of December, it was actually pretty nice. Um, Even last week was decent price action. This week has been like really for my strategy has been really bad. Maybe other people on different strategies it worked well for them this week. My particular strategy that I use, my setup, it did not appear too often, and when it did not play out in my favor, which is fine. You're gonna have weeks like that, and if I'm gonna end up having weeks like that, I'd want it to be in a month like December, um, when price action is typically not A plus anyways. But again, I de-risked expecting that, but I wanted to still execute if I saw my model, and that's what I did this week. So, today is no different. I'm able to say that it's a good trading day because I followed my model. I didn't veer from it at all. Saw it on the screen and I executed. I didn't think twice about clicking the sell button. I just executed. So let's go over it here. So number one, obviously on the daily we're bearish. Now, the reason I say this is because we broke structure. On the weekly, we're actually still bullish based on order flow. And now you can see, before when I entered this trade, we were not trading inside of this weekly fair value gap. But we haven't closed yet. So if we close inside this weekly fair value gap, that's good for bulls. So we'll see how we close today. But again, weekly is bullish still. Daily was bearish and still is. But obviously this candle is crazy if you're a bear. But yeah, so I came into the day thinking bearishness. When we were trading a little bit closer to this low, I was thinking maybe we came to this low and then to this low because there's definitely some liquidity that's still here. We traded inside of this 4-hour fair value gap, and we were still respecting it at the time of my entry of this trade. So I had my higher time frame bearish fair value gap that I needed to see. I also had a higher time frame bearish fair value gap on the 1 hour that was getting respected. And then you can see this high here, and this is the sweep. So on the 15-minute, you can see it clearer, right? We had some equal highs here that got swept. Now you can see they got swept a little earlier, and I was looking for a setup then, but I just never got an entry. And it did come and take some lows, but it also left some equal lows on the 1 minute that I thought had some potential to get hit, and that was my target for this trade. But again, so we had our higher time frame PD, right? We have our sweep, and then so what I need to see on the lower time frame is I need to see distribution and break a structure. And so on the 5-minute doesn't really give you much, but if you can see this candle's wick here, this bearish candle, right? I had entered and price was looking pretty good at that point. And here's where we got our distribution lower. Here was my target, which was these equal lows here. And what else? Again, distribution, break a structure. This bearish candle closed below the bodies of this low here. So to me, that's a break of structure. And then we formed inversion fair value gap on top of a normal fair value gap, which I attempted to enter off of. Limit order here. And as you can see, price showed literally zero mercy. Not a single candle in my direction after my entry. Literally out in 3 minutes. But I guess that's better than sitting here waiting to get stopped out, right? So it showed me that it had other plans. So fair enough. But all those things I described to you as to why I entered are that's my model. It is what it is. I think we got caught up here a little bit in what looks like to me a bit of a reversal, maybe. We'll see. I mean, this candle's pretty crazy right now. I was expecting some more bearishness, but you could see this is the daily candle right here that's on my screen with this indicator. And that's a pretty crazy daily candle. So we might be getting caught up in a little bit of a reversal. We'll have to see how this day closes. It's still early in the day, so we'll see. But if this 4-hour candle closes where it's at right now, again, still have 3 hours and 30 minutes to go for this 4-hour candle to close. But if it closes above here, disrespecting that imbalance, I mean, that's good for bulls, man. That's good. So we'll see. Maybe got caught up in a little bit of a reversal. Time will tell. Also, of course, trading in a deep discount. Clearly, price has dropped off a cliff in recent days, and I was aware I was trading in a little bit of a discount. But that's not something that stops me from taking a trade. It's just nice to have it on my side. If I'm looking for a buy, I'd like to see us in a discount rather than a sell. So I like to see us in a premium if I'm selling, but it's not something that's going to make me not take the trade. If my setup's there, my setup's there. It's just a nice confluence to have. But yeah, I risked 0.5%. For some reason, that showed up as only one contract. I guess it was just like $10 short of 2 contracts. So I ended up only losing $130 in this trade. So that's even less. It's literally almost 0.25% that I risked today. I didn't even risk a full 0.5%. So, I'm doing a good job de-risking in this environment because it really is not a very friendly environment at the moment. I won't be trading next week for obvious reasons. It's Christmas week. I'm not going to even entertain trading that week. Look, in hindsight, we might look back and say, oh, there was a nice setup here, a nice setup there. I don't care. Like, if it's anything like this week, it's probably going to be worse than this week, in my opinion. There just won't be volume in the market like there normally is. And so it will be harder. Setups should be fewer and far in between, but we'll see. I mean, I thought the same thing about the election week, and there were some great setups there that I neglected because I said I wasn't going to trade that week. But look, you got to be disciplined. Hindsight really doesn't matter in trading. I mean, hindsight doesn't make you money. So that's all I really have. I'm done for the week. This thing is exploding to the upside, like exploding. It's pretty crazy, actually. So, yeah.